All right, man. We just watched 12 rounds of pure domination of a Ring Magazine, I guess, lineal champion, whatever the hell Teofimo is. 12 rounds of pure domination. And where this dude, Teofimo, looks so effing basic. You couldn't sell this to anyone that Teofimo was a former champion. Also got to ask this thing: was there a sighting of Devin Haney, Bill Haney, in them at today's fight? Was there a sighting of them at this fight? I don't think they were in the building. I think that's why their names were forgotten in tonight's match. That they were a no show for this event. I know I seen that the son yesterday, who's starting shit, had his amateur debut or amateur fight today, and they had no footage to show of Sean's debut. It's really nothing to show from it. There's a lot of work needed from that young kid. But were they present for this fight, or was it just best to advise them not to even come to this event because of the ignorant shit that took place yesterday? So therefore, they've took themselves out the picture to where there were things to kind of build on fights for them to jump in the rings and for fighters to call them out. Because I was wondering, like, damn, why aren't the fighters really calling out the handies and shit? And it was just a thing that their absence was uh, kind of a glaring observation for a lot of people that they weren't in attendance because of what happened yesterday. But going into this, probably why that kid Sean was amped up. He going into a fight tomorrow and this and that, so he go about his ignorant shit. But we're gonna go back into Teofimo, the dude who is walk around with this lineal belt, does all this other shit about who he is, the disrespect he has had towards other fighters. Even going into this fight before they even step in the ring, and they showed them in the dressing room the disrespect and ignorance from the father, them sticking up the middle finger and doing all this other shit before coming out, this delay into their ring walk, pushing the fight back, sitting there making people wait, then coming out here when they get to the ring and putting on that spectacle that end up turning into an embarrassment, a back slap to their own face. And to see this dude be an absolute no-show in the ring, his father being an absolute no-show in the corner, being absolutely a person that was just in the way for this fight. His father being a person that set him back. Teofimo should have left his father back where he had him when they did the last presser for this fight buildup. Should have left your father at the motherfucking dope house where this dude belongs. To see his dad in there, come on, you gotta hit him. Hit him. Where's the power? You need to throw your punches. Hit harder. You don't hit hard. You need to, like, what the fuck is this dude over there saying? What's going on? Like, you in there admonishing this fucking dude. You're putting pressure on him. He realized he in this motherfucking ring, he can't do shit. You need to tell him, reposition your feet. I want you to fight in this stance. Put this right foot in the lead. I want you to step around here, throw off this and that. I want you to cut this angle out. He didn't do nothing. Shakur in there embarrassed the fuck out of these dudes. It was all because of the father being in the goddamn way and the beatdown being so crucial. And the fact that he knocked some sense into Teofimo. Teofimo got in that ring and apologized for slavery. Apologized for all that foolish shit he been saying out of his goddamn mouth. Shit that he didn't even believe in. But shit that he was saying because what they say, hurt people. Because he was hurt. And he thought he can hurt other black fighters who will be the champions that knock him off his pedestal. Outside of being Australian who tapped his ass. But the father offered not a goddamn thing for this fight. His fool father has an addiction. Teofimo is bound to follow that addiction. And the fact that he has a child on the way that he spoke about. And he better hope he had, once again, his second marriage. He better hope that he married a bitch that learned her role and being committed and finding love, because that's the one thing I make these little transitions to jump off on shit that a lot of these bras need to learn. That once you commit, you having these kids, you marrying and all this shit, you need to commit, because there ain't greener shit on the other side of shit. You watching that shit with Wilder bitch, you watching that with Charlo bitch. I watched Charlo bitch post some shit today showing her at an event with her son earlier in the day. Then this bitch back in the club with her ass and titties out for dudes to find it all over it. And some dudes going to end up fucking her tonight. And then and the Fresh BX says looking like he no showed, says at the press conference too. Laugh out loud. And I made a video right before I went live. That's why I pushed the time back a little bit, because I wanted to highlight Teofimo being a no show at this damn presser. And he probably back there punching on his fucking father. It's probably what Teofimo is back there doing. You best believe T.O. is being held back from wanting to knock his damn dad out. Because his dad back there going off on him, because his dad lives through him. T.O. dad, who ain't accomplished shit in his life, picked up an addiction and lives vicariously through his son. And if his son loses, the money draws back, and therefore his motherfucking intake of drugs to sustain him have to also be decreased. And he ain't about to wean off of that shit. And then Brandon Washington, the building, and they're saying, yo, he in there rolling and shit. And then Nancy Jones says, see what Brian Norman did? Says Teal better put his pride to the side and fire his dad. Oh, the dad getting in there. Teal probably in there. If Teal ain't put a combination that he couldn't land on Shakur, he definitely landing that shit on his dad right now. He definitely landing that goddamn combination on his dad. But his dad was the most ignorant motherfucker in that corner. They should have pulled his ass. And you were seeing his dad running his mouth too much, lost that every time the round is ready to start, Teofimo Sr. still in the goddamn ring. And then now Teo got to go in this shit with this shit running through his mind on repeat of his dad going off on him. And then now, therefore, they feel the fight is losing. And then he in here with such a sharp, top-notch caliber dude in Shakur, who ain't about to make no mistakes in that fight, and eliminated everything. By round 2, he had nullified, I peeped that shit. In round 2, he nullified everything that Teo can do. He ain't never seen no shit like that. Teo's supposed to be an A-level fucking fighter. By round 2, Shakur took everything away, made everything null and void for this motherfucker. And I'm thinking like, wait, let me see if Teo gonna make an adjustment. No, Teo got some skills. Like, Shakur can't be this fucking good. Shakur can't be this fucking good. I'm like, God damn, I know this nigga ain't this fucking good. Like, wow. But then again, you see who Shakur surrounds himself with when it comes to this boxing shit. Andre Ward, Terrence Crawford. Couldn't ask for a fucking better mentor and a sport that you participate in than the fucking Terrence Crawford and the Andre fucking Ward. And then SF says salute, says Teo looked lost in there. He looked lost in the motherfucker by round 2. I'm on here, and the people in the chat already seeing Teo look shook. Shakur was breaking Teo by round number 2. And it went into all this little stupid shit he doing. The stupid shit he did for the build-up in the press conference. The dumb shit his dad doing. That even fucking the last laugh was by Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford in that ring laughing their ass off at him. Ha, 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 ha. They almost down there a fucking complete shutout. You won one round. That was a sympathetic round. Well, really it was a round because Teo started kind of getting off on Shakur. Shakur kind of, lost the adjustment in that round. Being Teo kind of desperate, having to go after, he landed a few shots. Didn't land enough. Didn't land a lot, but he landed a few shots that added to his total and shit. But overall in this fight, he probably missed down there fucking 95% of his punches. He couldn't touch this dude. Then the fact he ended up busted up. I mean, Shakur swole this motherfucker little long ass nose up. His long ass nose looked like a black nose. That's why he throwing up that black power fist, because he got a wide nose now. His nose got so damn big that now Teofimo felt like he one of us. You know what they be saying? Black folks got these big wide nose. Teo had a big fat ass nose in this motherfucker. He felt black. Shakur whooped some black shit in him because, deep down inside that blood of Teo, he got a mama who is dark as me. See, they love hiding the motherfucking mothers of theirs. He got a mama just as dark as me. Oh, he got iced out in this fight. And then I got to tell Donald Trump, you need to send ICE down here for these boys. They from Honduras. Get them the fuck up out of here. Freehold ass them the fuck up out this country. Get Tio and his old dope sniffing dog. His dad got a dog sniffing nose for crack. Get their ass up out of here. Trump surround motherfucking Madison Square. They over at Madison Square Garden. Send ice that building out, and Honduras these motherfuckers back. I know y'all get them over there fast because y'all just picked the nigga up from Venezuela, and he was in where the city these niggas fighting in. Mandora, right there in New York City. Mandora here. You can take Tio and them back over there by that nigga because I think Venezuela and Honduras somewhere near each other. Take them fools back over there. Get these despicable motherfuckers back up out of here. Oh, and I know my brother B-Dub in the building. B-Dub. Always right with your boy Reggie, man. What happened in Texas today? What happened in Texas? Some Democratic motherfucker won in a red part of Texas. He's flipping on that idiotic president, homie. Always right. SF in the building says Lou says Tio look lost in there. Tio look lost in the motherfucker. And then he's a so-called ring champion, the undisputed champion, all this other shit. And he couldn't do shit. The power wasn't there. The dad in there crying and shit, blah, blah, blah shit. And then Shakur tell his grandpa, man, I'm stronger than this motherfucker. I'm about to just whoop on this fool. This fool weak, grandpops. I'm about to walk this fool. And then Thrill Hill in the building, salute. SF says there was a headlock. Shakur put Tio in like rounds 3 to 4. Says easily pinned Tio. Says between the forearm and wrist. Says that shit. Says broke any confidence Tio had. Says let him know. Says let him know he was a stronger fighter. Absolutely. Even in them clinches, Shakur was being nasty in them clinches. Even when they tied in there, even it was like they tied in and Shakur able to still get punches on the side of his head. And they're just hogging this fool in that damn clinch. Tio was broken. Like you start seeing like in the second round, I'm seeing that shit written on Tio's face. Like he don't know what to do. Shakur out there, Tio start that first round just throwing off punches. Shakur nowhere near him. He'll throw a hook, Shakur up under him. Over here. Then they go on some motherfucker. You know how they showing the cartoons with the damn genie. You rub the genie out the bottle and that nigga doing all type of disappearing and popping over here and all that other shit. Letting you know he a magical motherfucker. Shakur is doing that shit to him. And then dot him with the jab. Wow. It was a round where they getting into an exchange. Well, Tio really throwing exchange. She throwing wild shots. That motherfucker Shakur just bopped him on top of his head. He just slightly tapped on top of the head like, bop, calm down, little boy. Because Tio was trying to start out there a little bit jittery, tight, but just a little too overly aggressive. And that shit did nothing for him in that first round. Nothing. He couldn't even touch this dude and was trying to come out the gate. And then the second round, he tried that shit and Shakur started whopping that jab on his ass. From there, that motherfucker was done. He couldn't figure that shit out. Fight was lost by second round. That motherfucker masterclass Tio. Tio, one of these dudes supposed to be part of this top group of these young dudes. Shakur worked this motherfucker. Could Shakur be like Bud, how a lot of motherfuckers sat there and avoided this dude? He started moving up in the divisions, following him, and this motherfucker's just so sharp. Is Shakur this fucking good? I mean, he maxed this motherfucker Tio. But then again, Tio father comes in that play as well. But Tio probably don't got the skills to go up there, but Tio is going to be limited with his father in there. His father can train him for lesser tier or lower tier opposition, but against the top, his father the wrong dude in there. His father beginning to panic. His father don't know what instructions to give. He just say dumb shit. And then Deuce Time in the building says, relative salute to my motherfucking cousin, Deuce Time. You see they done flip one of them red little counties in Texas, the blue. Losing that majority in that Senate. And his team from above says that dude Tio says, couldn't believe, says how much better Core was than him. Facts. He could not believe that shit. He was like mind boggled over that shit. Like, damn, this dude, and then he like, I can't get out the way of this nigga jab. He's eating me with this shit. Then he throwing these hooks at me. Let me try to go low and go to the body. Bam, he hitting me with the hook. Damn. Then I got to go over here the round end. I got to talk to this old stupid ass nigga that didn't have me. That's the worst shit. Nigga getting his ass whooped for 3 minutes in a round. Then he gotta go sit in the corner to get his break and listen to the stupidest motherfucker he never encountered in his life. His own goddamn dad. Tio should have just walked out the motherfucking ring. That motherfucker, I know he's just hoping that the damn clock don't end. I know Tio was just dreading that shit. That's why he didn't quit. He didn't want to go in that corner and listen to his stupid ass daddy for a whole fucking minute. Say some bunch of stupid shit. Throw the power punch, son. What are you doing? With the power. You gotta hit him. What are you doing? Hit him. Get the fuck out. Tio should kick that nigga. Then this old drunk motherfucking barely crawl in the ring. His dad got in the ring. Bo Mac get in the ring better than T.O. dad. T.O. dad so fucked up and high. He was taking T.O. just left in the ring, having to wait 20 seconds for this nigga to get in the ring and tell him a bunch of nonsense and shit. Tell him a bunch of shit a crackhead be saying this shit. Made the dad want the fight to be over so he can get to the motherfucking dope house or the liquor store. That's probably what he's mad at. Or do liquor stores close in New York? You probably buy a liquor bottle at any time in New York. Yeah, probably not in Manhattan, but definitely one of them hood spots. Steve from Buzz says that dude T.O. says couldn't believe how much better Core was than him. And then the Taekwon says salute to you, salute, bro, appreciate that. Diamond Newman says you have respect. Says you have respect. The man says it takes risk. Says it takes brave heart. Says to get in the ring. Says and take risks. Says I respect. I guess that's supposed to be T.O. He respect T.O. Fuck T.O. T.O. talked too much ignorant, dumb shit. He spoke too much unnecessary racial related shit out of his jealousy. I think T.O. started talking bad about black folks because the lady that pimped him out of a lot of his fucking money that he married gets pregnant, divorced this motherfucker, takes that kid away from him, and then I hear she was getting banged out by black dudes. That hurt his heart. That hurt his heart. And then CJ in the building. Salute CJ. Hey, I watched that one with that video you sent me on the Rolling Hundreds with Lavelle and Big Craig and them shit. That dude was on point with that shit. He was so on point with that shit. I'm like, damn, how he gather all is that much information out on them dudes? I'm like, damn. And the big homie 100 says, since we see why Tank says been ducking. Oh my God, I would love to see Shakur beat Tank up like this. I would, but Tank will really have a mental breakdown. Tank will do what Mike Tyson does when things get a little bit too hard in the ring, and then Mike Tyson go to biting motherfuckers, one to swing at people when the ref trying to break you. Tank will lose his mind in that fight, but I think he'll quit. He'll probably get to really tripping in that motherfucker. And right now, where his mental state at, Tank can't get in the ring. Tank can't get in the ring. He'll do some fucking just sinister shit to get himself out of a fight. Tank will, rather than having where the pressure is just mounting too much on him and Shakur and they're whooping his ass, he'll do something to get disqualified. He'll find a way out of that fight. And that's the thing where you can break some of these motherfuckers mentally. He was starting to break. To be honest, I thought he was gonna make Teofimo no Masi, but Tio didn't want to deal with that shit with his fucking punk ass dad. That's the one thing. Tio wished them rounds was 5-minute rounds. That's why Tio was trying MMA shit. He was hoping to get a 5-minute round so he had to go in the corner for his 1-minute break to listen to his stupid ass dad. And shit, he's better off just staying in the middle of the ring instead of going in that fucking corner. And then Big Money says, we see why Tank been ducking Shakur. And then SSC says, the gap in skills says it's way too wide. Says Teal just athletic, says for the most part, says he's just been able to bang on smaller fighters. Says I had a couple of homies ask me who I had. Says I told them all. Says Shakur says, and it won't be close. See, I didn't think it was gonna be like that. When I was asked that shit, but I was in my really thinking I was like, I could see this dude making Tio want to quit this shit, but I didn't think it would be I thought it'd be a tough fight. I thought it would be close to 50-50. I couldn't pick one over the other because you don't see these dudes fight enough. I don't really know how well Shakur is, how top level Shakur is. But then I'll be looking, I'll be like, I know Tio mentally weak as fuck. I know Tio mentally weak. We seen that shit with Tio. We watched him when he fought, I think that was the Ortiz dude, where he asked if he still got it. When he fought the tall ass Japanese dude, he in there complained about that shit, but he never complained when he was in there with these little made up fights that Top Rank give dudes and do these old pads, record padding ass opponents they throw in for the top ranked fighters when they building them up. Tio in there knocking people out, believing the power real, and then he starts stepping up in competition, just like Edgar Berlanga, and they ain't knocking motherfuckers out. They ain't knocking people out with the one shot and shit. It's taking them a long time to get the shit going. But I didn't know it was gonna be that much of a separation of skill until the fight went on. And when I'm looking at round two, well, really round one is seeing Tio just wasting so much shit and can't get to this dude. And it wasn't Shakur moving around doing none of that. Shakur just do a little hop back, pivot on this nigga, move his head, parry the motherfucking shot, just knocking shit off on Tio. Tio couldn't touch this dude. Oh, I'm like, oh yeah, this fool's smooth criminal mode on his ass. Oh, now he about to start touching. He start painting that motherfucker. And then Velasquez says, Key Davis with Cook Tank. Says, and Twitterson Cook's Deb, cuz. Says, Bomac says, had the dream team. Absolutely. And then Keyshawn may need to go back to Bomac. Because even though Keyshawn got the win and shit, it wasn't that good of a win. That's why that crowd was news fest and all that shit. They wasn't amped by it. There was moments I think it was just start to separate because Ortiz fought a retarded ass fight. So I think there's more that Keyshawn need to work on, regardless of him getting the stoppage. It wasn't until that dude ended up catching that. I don't know, did Shakur, they had a headbutt, right? Because I remember the ref broke them. He had to look at the eye. So I think they had a head clash. And that dude eye immediately fucking swelled up. And that began to change the fight. So I ain't about to overhype Keyshawn Davis. He got the stoppage. But the fight started going his way once that guy eye swelled up, and that guy didn't fight the best fight. That guy was kept running in, clashing in the Keyshawn. Keyshawn did start to fall off towards the back part of that fight. So he has a lot of work to do. And I don't think he's ready for Devin right now. But I can't say that shit. I don't know where none of these dudes at. Let me stop doubting these dudes. They are the athletes. And the stinger from above says Tank will never face Shakur. Says, in my opinion, says specifically, says, oh, so sorry, not specifically, he says especially, he says, not after this performance. Tank don't want to fight nobody, man. Tank don't want to fight nobody. Tank gotta hope he ain't sitting in fucking jail and shit. Velasquez says, shouts to Turkey, man, says, for making all these fights. Says, unlike the weasel, Steven Espinoza shaking my head. He sound like Coon Thorn Fred. SF says Dev versus Shakur says will be the fight to be made eventually. And like I said, I was wondering why they didn't call Dev out, but Dev and them look like they got banned from the goddamn fight event. Or unless they didn't want to show up because they probably thinking, man, that motherfucker Tiger Johnson out there. Tiger probably rolled up with about 1,000 goons and shit. And they said, hell no. Nah. They said, hell to the no. We are not showing up to this shit. Tiger Johnson has showed up with all of Cleveland in this motherfucker. So they didn't show up to the fight. They instead went to the shit starting little son, Arthur Trash. I'm not Arthur Trash, but Sean fight. And then Pookie Bear says Teal just cashed out. Yeah, he may have cashed out, but he better hope he got a righteous hoe that ain't gonna he done married. The nigga say he done married this broad. That nigga crazy, homie. He done married this broad, and he better hope she don't talk no divorce shit. Like, nigga, you just lost the fight. Your money ain't about to be the same. Who knows what fight you like? Still got to work his way back up. You just got schooled, homie. You just got schooled. You done did all this building up the fight, all that amping up, and went in there and dropped a dud. You dropped 12 rounds of shit. And you're supposed to fight who next? No, you got to work your way up, T.O. People need to see if you still got it. Need to see if you still got it. And then we need to hear the report. Make sure he ain't beat his dad up tonight. And it Sir's in the building. Salute to my brother. Sir says that hate for Shakur is crazy work. Is it them damn same little knee walking fools hating on Shakur? Ones who want to call him Puerto Rican and all that other shit. Lassie Cuss says the SF says the mega slayer says he says I think Dev gonna keep moving up, says to avoid Twitterson. And I don't think Dev can go up too much more. And then the sir says Stankaholic knows what Shakur is. Who is Stankaholic? Oh, Tank. That's supposed to be Tankaholic. The Stankaholics know what Shakur is. And he says Key did his thing. Says, but needs Bomax is on the team. Yeah, he need Bomax, and he gonna need more work because he definitely lucky he was in there with Jermaine Ortiz, who mine wasn't really on the fight. I remember him fighting Tio, and maybe Tio just ain't that good. Stinger from Bus says, according to BFTV, says Dev was supposed to do commentary with Maddox and Morris, says, but got canceled because of the altercation. So they let that little stupid ass boy fuck up these opportunities for him. Always right and always wrong is them LDBC dumbasses. The actions of that little retarded ass kid fuck the publicity, promotion, and all that other shit. And maybe Turkey may say, we need to stop working with these old fucking un-Muslim ass motherfuckers. They done got Muslim to try to get into good grace. They didn't act Muslim because I don't hear them talk no Muslim. Dev talk Muslim shit. Bill and them don't. And then Sir says shout out to Debo Dev says, and Stevenson says, for supposedly having pillow fist says, and stunning on their competition, whooping their competition ass. Vice Cuss says, hey, Cuss, says, you calling the fights tomorrow? Says, what is that, ZO2? Who the hell is that? Who the hell is fighting tomorrow? Let me see. Let me go to ESPN. Oh, I got an RV video I want to watch. I'm going to end this one. I got to go watch me some RV shit. Let me see. I got a good little RV video set up to play after this shit. Let me see who playing next. Hold on. A fight on Sunday? And I got to cancel this DAZN shit. Them fools charged me $70 for this shit. Lucky I love boxing. Let me see. On Paramount. Jose Venezuela. Oh, Venezuela, the dude who knocked out I can't think of that damn fool. Alexander Volstik. Hell no, I ain't watching this shit. It's a bunch of European shit. Jalil Hackett, Robert Cruz. I ain't got Paramount. I'm gonna have to find it on the app. It says boom, boom, boom. Venezuela is the dude. What they call Jose Venezuela? Venezuela name is something. They call him something else, but he the dude who whooped Lil B-Hop ass. What's Lil B-Hop what's Lil B-Hop real name? That fool done come up with all these damn made up names. He was prime time at one point. He was Little B-Hop. Yeah, they call that dude Jose Venezuela. It's Rayo. Yeah, Rayo. He knocked out Chris Colbert. Thank you, Stinger from above. Yeah, he knocked Chris Colbert motherfucking ass out cold. Knocked him out cold. Chris Colbert career fell off because Chris Colbert started making money, started letting shit go to his head, smelling his own shit, and not listening to his team. And then SF says, the Velocica says, you think so? Says Dev at 47 now. Says, I think Stevenson trying to fight at 47 next, says, against Ben. And the Velocica says, the SF says, the Mega Slayer says, Dev walk around at 180, at like 180. And that's crazy to be losing that kind of weight, to go down to a lower division and shit. Sting from above says the Ryo, Colbert. But then again, they maximizing, where they're at. And then Velocicut's in there rolling. But folks, that's all I got. Oh, I definitely got to go live tomorrow because once again, Big Bay Miller now begins to be the headline to the shit of what I be talking about with dudes. I'm telling you, these dudes, it's some real suspect shit going on with dudes around the world, around this country. Real suspect weirdo shit. And I got to continue to highlight, as I talk about, it's a growing thing of homosexuality with dude. For a dude to put a hair piece that's a weave in his head, and then to get it, to blend it in, that motherfucker is nappy and all that shit. And for this nigga in a fight and a nigga punching him so hard in his head, it lift the toupee up. And then I was laughing my fucking ass off right before I went live on this motherfucker and see that nigga in the corner. That shit was worse than Franchon Cruz shit. Let me go look at this nigga here. I did not see this shit. Even when I posted a video, I did not know he went over in his corner and had to fight the damn fight. Hold on, where this shit at? That shit had me then there falling out laughing at this shit. Oh, let me show the top of this nigga head in that motherfucking corner. And that shit he can't outlive that shit because he talks so much raggedy ass shit. Like, look at this shit he presented on his fucking head. Like this shit was really his. That shit all napped up and shit. Hold on, let me go back to this shit. This fool fucking crazy. And then the shit got completely knocked out his head. This nigga got a real nappy-headed motherfucking toupee on his head. This nigga put a nappy head toupee on his shit. Along with they set up a lineup of his real fucking hair. This nigga is crazy. He the same fool that sat there accusing Anthony Joshua and was going to be the most lucrative fight of his fucking career. Big Baby Miller. Big Baby Miller talk all this crazy shit about Deontay Wilder. He the one that put Deontay Wilder on about his ex-wife, which was, he tried to warn him and shit, called him a country bumpkin. Wilder's situation ain't as bad as this shit, but this same dude who, when he was set to fight Anthony Joshua, in the fight to where he called Joshua a drug cheat, Anthony Joshua getting all these fucking little exemptions by the British board and shit. And then right as they go into the fight, he gets kicked off the fight because they found all type of drugs in this food system, which used to make people wonder, like, how is this 300-pound dude throwing the most shots? He was throwing more shots than people in the 130-pound division. Big Bay Miller was throwing something like 100 and something. He was known for throwing hundreds of punches around. We're in fights with 1,000 punches. He wouldn't get tired. And he was making those accusations because Anthony Joshua's nigga popped dirty for some shit. Get kicked off the court. That's how what's that fool name? What was that big fool? And I made money off this fool. I'm not remember his name. Fucking not Luis Ortiz. What's that big fat Mexican dude? He became the first Mexican heavyweight champion, beating that fool Anthony Joshua. Fucking, what's that fool name? I can't bring his name. I was telling my kids about that shit yesterday. But so he loses opportunity. That fool, Andy, that's his name, Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz gets the opportunity to stepping in because this fool pop hot on dope, gets in there, defeats Anthony Joshua. Then this fool, when he's suspended, comes back from suspension, pops hot again on drugs. And then here he is. Once again, he was begging Eddie Hearn to give him fights. He's doing all this begging shit, kissing Eddie Hearn ass, kissing turkey ass. He one of these dudes that played in fake Muslim and shit. And then this motherfucker went out and brought a fucking toupee with naps in this shit. Buying toupees with naps in this shit. Dudes is out here buying toupees with naps on it. Let's continue on when this shit gets knocked out his fucking head. And I know he embarrassed. Look, there's going to be a point. Look how embarrassed he is. Look at him trying to hold that shit on his head. He trying to hold that shit, hoping the goddamn crowd don't see this shit. I'm telling you, these dudes is embarrassments, dude. Look at this shit. Motherfucker got a whole carport on top of his head. Look at this shit. Bow, bow. I guess old dude threw a punch that skimmed over the top of the head and pulled that shit up. Look at him trying to hold his hands to hold that shit down. Old dude in there laughing his ass up at him. Look, old dude laughing and embarrassed this nigga. He making sure every punch lift this shit off his fucking head. Uppercut that shit. Oh, look at this shit. And then the motherfucker got a whole part in that shit. Look, the ref almost grabbed the whole that shit. Look at this nigga. This shit had me dying like a motherfucker when I see this nigga over in the corner with a crown on his head. This nigga over here with a crown on his head. Why? Why are these niggas doing this shit? These niggas out here living strange, man. I'm telling you, man. Dudes out here living strange, man. Strange in the motherfucker. Always right with your boy in this motherfucker. Call this shit all the time about fools, man. And the sir says, salute to everyone. Says, be blessed, says, be safe, be certain. And then and the SS says, the velocity cuss says, yeah, says yeah, says he be big, says yeah, he be big for sure. Says that fight can be Floyd versus Ab 2 point. Velocity says, man, your boy Malachi says got that shit on his head. Says he got that shit on his head too. Man, I hope these fools ain't got that shit on their head. Man, ain't nothing wrong with a bald head. I'm glad my shit still grow. I'm glad my shit still grow. I ain't got gray. Even if when my shit finally do turn gray, I ain't gonna be putting that just for man shit on my shit. I'm gonna rock the gray shit. I'm gonna rock the gray shit, and hopefully the hair still grow look cool. When this shit start growing in patches and don't want to grow, I'm going with the bald head and being on my DMX shit. I used to rock a bald head at one point. And bitches used to love that shit. Used to love to feel a bitch rub my head and shit. I just be on somewhere I don't want to maintain constantly shaving my fucking head. That's the only reason I used to let my hair grow back. I always go through these changes. Some days I'll let this shit grow. I can't deal with that shit on too long. I got to shave it off. But to rock the bald head all the time, only thing stopped me from rocking it is I didn't like shaving that shit. I ain't like shaving that shit all the time, but I rock that shit and bitches be rubbing on the head and all that shit. Don't ever feel better than when bitch want to rub your head and shit. Nigga, Jerry Miller, weird than a motherfucker. Lysica says, facts to FS says our Mayweather versus Moley 2.0. And then SS says, Big Belly says, ain't been shit since he popped it for Peds. Facts. And Peds must have did something to this fool brain, man. And the Thrill Hill says, oh, he's telling me Ruiz, Andy Ruiz. Lysica in there rolling. He says, I'll never get crossed up, says by Uno, says in front of some bad chicks, says then having a hair piece, says the flop ball. Facts. Like this nigga would never downplay this shit. And Big Bay Miller be talking major shit. Big Bay Miller, one of these niggas can roast niggas with the worst. You ain't gonna outlive this shit, but he just gotta laugh through it. That's the only reason, that's the only way this shit gonna pass. But it's crazy. It's barbers, because I see videos where barbers be spraying shit on niggas' heads and they show where they'll glue on hair. This nigga really went out there and got that shit as a fucking fighter. That's no different. You see bitches being here fighting knowing they got a hair full of fake shit. Dudes out here rocking like chicks, homie. Dudes out here doing chick shit like I've been saying dudes be doing. They be using bitch language, talking like chicks, the bag, period. Niggas are the point saying that shit. Little this, little that. Like, man, these dudes too women raised. Too many women raised as dudes in society. It's making niggas weird that they go out and put weaves in their head. And then get a faded, nappy head wig on their head. And then get in here with a nigga that punched his shit off his head is the most comical shit ever. But folks, that's all I got. I gotta go live on that topic tomorrow. I gotta go live on that topic. But I also gotta go out on the court tomorrow. My jump shot was so damn off. Feel good on my feet, but jump shot was atrocious. Even my kids are starting to hit 3-pointers. Even my daughter was making outside shots. I wasn't hitting shit. I was airballing shit. I'm like, damn, I've been gone from that court too long. So I got to get out on that court tomorrow. I got to start going every day after work and all that shit. But that's all I got, folks, man. Salute to fucking Shakur for that masterclass ass whooping he put on Teofimo, who talking about it's the takeover and all that other shit that his dad injected into his head because dad injects some shit in his arm and come up with these old fantasies that even they know ain't a fucking reality. And got his ass beat the fuck up with no goddamn recourse on how to minimize the ass whooping and embarrassment because Tio will go into a corner to get instructions by a drug addict. Now, what was the point of that black dude being there? For sure. But that's all I got. I'm going to catch you on the next one. And if there's some news, I know there's going to be reports of some goddamn fight between Teofimo and his dad. I wouldn't be surprised if Teofimo beat his dad up tonight. I'm waiting for that shit to come out. I give a fuck if I find out about that shit at 4 in the morning. I'm waking up to go live. But that's all I got, folks. Catch you on the next one. And let's wait for Trump to get his ass kicked out the White House. Peace.